Thessaloniki összecsapás. Bizonyára tudják, hogy az első körből mind a két csapat egy vereség után érkezett, mi ugye Dijonban, az ellenfél pedig otthon kapott ki a Besiktástól. Úgyhogy minden bizonnyal egy nagyon-nagyon érdekes mérkőzésre van kilátás. Ehhez viszont meg kell mutatnunk a magyar virtust, a magyar hangot, és természetesen a dolgos szombathelyi kezeket. Úgyhogy kérnék szépen is egy nagyon nagy tapsot!
Hello, is anyone there? I've got absolutely no sound in my headphones at all in terms of international sound. Well, welcome everybody. Szombathely is where we are. PAOK are the visitors. It's game day 2 of the Basketball Champions League. Both teams come here after game day 1 defeats. PAOK with the home loss against Besiktas, and Szombathely the loss on the road in Dijon. Here is the PAOK roster, and what a start to the season Adam Smith has had. Number 1 in scoring in the A1 League, averaging over 20 points a game for coach Kostas Spilakis. And this lineup, having lost to Panathinaikos in the A1 League at the weekend, needs to get their Basketball Champions League campaign moving forward. No better place to do it than on the road. Falco Szombathely had the road loss in France last week. Currently sit 4th in the Hungarian First Division with a single loss in a 2-on-1 record. And this roster highlighted by some defense, let's put it that way. Quentin Hocker and Bendek Varadi lead the Hungarian league in steals per game. And this team struggled a little bit to get its scoring rhythm last week, but at home, in front of the home fans and the 4,000 capacity, Saravari Alina are looking to kickstart their Basketball Champions League campaign with the home win. PAOK being introduced to the growing home crowd. And what a tradition the team from Thessaloniki has in European competition. And it won't be panicking after an opening day loss against a lineup like Besiktas. They know that the away win just about to get into the introductions of the home team. Crowd on their feet, welcoming the home team to the regular season, having come through 2 rounds of qualification, looking to get their Basketball Champions League campaign and get a win in that win column. Great combination of homegrown talent plus some real quality in the foreign player roles. And Jesper Oklong, the head coach, knows the tasks that he faces, and there's no better way to build some confidence than get a win in front of your home fans. This arena really does generate some atmosphere. And Falco Szombathely will be desperate to get a win in the win column. Begarakis and Ocon shake hands at the halfway line. And here are the three officials for this game day 2 action in the Basketball Champions League. Boris Krlic from Slovenia, Ivor Matic from the Czech Republic, and Luis Castillo from Spain. Third team on the floor, their teamwork as important as the two teams. They're looking to get their first win in Basketball Champions League for this season. Adam Smith, as we said earlier on, the American, #1 in scoring in the A1 League, 20.5 points per game, and really does know how to fill it up. Gonna look at the starting lineups, and Smith has Jacon Lewis at the forward spot, and Dwayne Wiggins has done a really nice job on the glass. Guizi at the powered forward spot, Knowles on the inside. Have really got to control the tempo for PAOK on the road. They do not want to really get into too much of an up and down game. The team from Greece, they want to control it. They want to get what they want offensively. And Kostas Flarakis, a vastly experienced coach, is going to want to get a Greek game of basketball on the floor. It's all about control, it's all about picking the options, and again, nice balance between a number of Greek national team players plus some really nice imports. Szombathely. Going to start to make use of what is a fairly unique arena with the one end with the big mural on the wall, which is the end you're getting the shot from right now. Here's the starting lineup. Zoltan Pair at the forward spot has really got to get some points from beyond the three-point line going. Devon Washington and Uman Redic up front are going to have to do a lot of the blue-collar work if Szombathely are going to get a win for coach Jesper Okron. And he knows the task he faces. This is Basketball Champions League action, and he knows that after coming through 2 tough qualifying rounds, let's not forget that beating Ventspils and Aurelia in the way to this regular season was no mean feat at all. Ventspils hugely experienced in European action, and Szombathely overcame Ventspils in the second qualifying round to make their way into the regular season. Well, Szombathely have their problems offensively in terms of really putting points on the board. They have struggled, and that really does set us up for Greek basketball on the road. Is all about control. It's all about getting options and percentages and shots they want. So I wouldn't expect this one to be one of those up and down games where both teams get out and run. This could become a very technical, one of those games where it could be decided by 1 or 2 runs. But this isn't going to be one of those games that ends up in the 90s. Szombathely at home are going to want to get some momentum early, get this crowd interested. Courtside bowl, pretty full. And as you can see, either side of the big screen above the court. The second level of fans really is beginning to fill up. 26 years old now, Adam Smith really is creating a reputation for himself. And if he gets himself going from the perimeter, Adam Smith just knows how to score. And that's what Basketball Champions League action is all about, wherever you're joining us from. They're just going to have to sweep the floor as the ticker tape reception, first home game of the regular season for Szombathely. And the faithful in the black and the yellow making themselves heard here. So PAOK in the black, Szombathely at home in the yellow uniforms, and PAOK will get a look at it in the half court, first trip down the floor. High-low entry. Little jump hook is no good. And Knowles can't get it to go, but straight to the gut of the defense for PAOK first time down. And Hooker will get Szombathely into the half court, gets the early pick and roll. The early three is gone and is long. Defensive rebound, Knowles gets it. And PAOK look to push. Big take, quick take. The three in the transition is no good. Defensive rebound, got a foul on the play. Work on the glass as Zoltan Pear comes down with the defensive rebound. And there's the contact. Knowles picks up the first personal. PAOK extend the defense. It's more taking time out of it. In the half court, Szombathely. Pear has it outside, thinks about it, puts it on the floor, gets to the foul line, spins and kicks. The mid-range jump shot is short. And Redic can't get it to drop. Both teams not finding their rhythm early. Could change now as Smith has it, puts it on the floor, attacks it and kicks. Open three is gone and is good. And PAOK with a kick and the scoreboard ticking over. Agizi gets it to drop off the Smith assist. And Smith is going to draw a lot of attention. Starts to feed as well as score. It's a nice combination. To the inside, off the glass is no good. And Redic can't get it to drop. And Lewis will push for PAOK. Smith in the half court will call and will get the high screen. Knowles will roll. Doesn't really go hard though. Smith nowhere to go. And hands it off to Lewis. 5 on the possession. Lewis down the lane. A little fronter is no good. Szombathely, chance to run. Numbers down the floor. Straight to the rack for 2 is good. And Pear gets the 2 and the whole crowd with the first 2 points, the cheer of the night. Great transition basketball by Szombathely, and Pear gets down the floor and gets the 2. Lewis finds a little hole, needs somewhere, kicks it. The 3 easy again, he's short, got a whistle underneath. Namanze Agizi is, as we get a replay, the first 3 of the game, which was answered by Pear going to the bucket for 2. So Agizi is fouled in the act of, so he'll take 3 throws, makes the first. He's shooting 66% from the line in A1. Only been there on the 3 trips. But goes 2 for 3 here. Which puts him exactly up to his stat. Well, no defense, and they missed the little runner. Zucker couldn't get it to drop. Lewis will back it out in the half court. Looks to go inside. They don't really like the option, so they'll come out and pick. Knowles will screen. Lewis baseline, great card and flushed for two. And Wiggins just ghosted down the lane and beautifully found it. It's a nice start on the road. 7-2 lead for the team from Thessaloniki. Puts it on the floor, gets to the foul line, takes the little elbow jump shot and is good. Hooker with the two. And that's more the tempo that Szombathely will play. Get it into the half court. Look to screen, look to create advantage. Smith, quiet start for Smith. Gets him in the air, will kick. Lewis with a long three is long. Defensive rebound by Pearl, has a chance to run, but PAOK didn't contest the boards and all five are back. Nice find, Hooker turns down the three. And it's long. Then Washington can't get it to drop, but Szombathely will get a second look at it. Washington again will hand it off. Hooker from deep is no good. And foul called. And Redditch causing problems on the grass. And Knowles will pick up the personal. That'll be foul number 2 for Zay Knowles if it's called on him. Here's the pass. Wiggins down the lane for 2. It's just poor rotation defensively by Szombathely as the penetration went to the baseline. Neither team will want to go to 0-2 here. You don't need that little hole at the beginning of your Basketball Champions League regular season. Plenty of time left, obviously, in the schedule, but out of bounds. Pearl steps back, looks for the 2, but turns it down. Gets it back, lines up the 3, fakes. They're going to have to start being confident on the outside. Little runner is no good. And Washington couldn't get it to drop, and Powell walked the ball down the floor. Lewis will look at his options in the half court. Knowles is the man to reverse, gets it back to Lewis coming off the down screen. He's got a green light at the start of this one. Can't get it to drop. Szombathely in transition. Pearl takes the 3 this time and just sweet as you like. Why was he hesitating the possession before? Pearl goes to 5 personal and ties at 7. New game with 5:12 to go in the first quarter. Lewis leans back off the glass, doesn't get a drop, and that's out of bounds as Redditch was trying to get back on the glass. The end line possession for PAOK. And he didn't have a lot of separation by the time Smith got over the screen, but that's a soft touch from beyond the arc. Lines it up, knocks it down. Lewis will find Smith. Little hesitation. Oh, what a block. Redditch with a rejection. But Knowles stayed with the play. And again, Szombathely just not reacting at all. Smith trying to find a way to get himself going offensively. Knowles gets the offensive rebound. And PAOK restored a 2-point lead. Perro goes to work. Goes inside. Washington off. Gets the little Redditch with a hook. Gets the 2. Lewis breaks it down and kicks. It means he moves it on. Great job on the defensive end by Hooker, and it goes out of bounds and turned back over. Quentin Hooker. Nearly 3 steals a game. Early season in Hungary. Number 6 on the steals list shows you why. Just hunted the passing lane, but lost control. Couldn't turn the defense into points. 4:21 remains in the first. We're tied at 9. It's been the sort of start you expected. Neither team is coming into this game flowing with confidence, so they're going to have to really tough this one out. Smith moves it on. High-low pass, easy 2. Great entry. And Sarakolopoulos gets the 2. And Magalidis brings all the experience. He's 36 years of age now. EuroLeague experience, national team experience, shows you what he has. Pearly short with the 3. And Skaralopoulos gets the defensive rebound to go with the early 2. Sets the ball screen. Magalidis backdoor, nice pass. Oh, throw that one down. Wiggins with his 2nd dunk of the night. And Magalidis is playing the point almost. Back-to-back assists for Magalidis. And PAOK open it up, 13-9. Hooker is fouled as he turned the corner, foul on the floor. They're going to wipe off the 2. You can hear what the crowd think. You know, sideline possession. Turns the corner, really does get the step on Lewis, who fouls him there, which is clearly on the dribble. Referee whistle already gone. Takes the dribble after the foul, has to be on the sideline. Hooker will take the ball screen, gets to the elbow, is blocked. In fact, it was Cizlard Benke, straight in, straight off the bench, straight into the action. And Marco Filipovic will check in as well. So both teams starting to rotate. You'd have to think that the depth on the PAOK bench with Magalidis checking in. They still have Apollon Soklas on the bench too. Benke on the 3-throw line. That's the 2nd drop. Cuts it to a 3-point game. Just over 3 to go in the 1st. Lewis will turn the corner, gets to the ring for 2, is fouled. And Filipovic picks up the personal. Lewis turned the corner, went up strong, and is rewarded, gets to the free throw line. Lewis has made a really pleasing start to his A1 season in Greece. 7 points, 6 assists in the opening 4 games. Already forming a really nice backcourt partnership with Adam Smith, which is going to be a real strong point as PAOK make their way through the rest of this season. Brady is checking in for Szombathely. Gets it back off the down screen. Will take the ball screen, pick and pop action. Filipovic goes down the lane, is fouled, and will have to earn them from the free throw line. And the 23-year-old forward, Szombathely, really turned the corner well. Want to see him go through that contact, but will have to earn them from the free throw line. Can't get the first one to drop. First action of the season for Filipovic. Wide open, great find, count that. And Best comes off the bench, spots up, strokes the 3. Given goal is turned over. And Lewis will take a look at what he has. 6-point advantage, 2:11 to go in the first, and PAOK already trying to turn the screw. Magalidis spins to the baseline, goes up with the right hand, and ran out of options. There's Per, puts it on the floor, spins, needs a pass, finds one. Szombathely will move it on. And Varadi, 8 on the possession, puts it on the floor, turns it over, and PAOK chance to run here. Same spot, same result. And Best back-to-back threes off the bench, instant impact, 2 from 2 from beyond the arc. And PAOK opening out to a 9-point game. Falco Volcano really got to find some rhythm offensively, and that's the man. Zoltan Pero, who's been consistent. That's his 7th point, over half of his team's total. Just over a minute to go in the first. Lewis will take the ball screen and kicks. Best, this from the left side, is not his side. Great work on the glass. Wiggins has it knocked away. Volcano with a chance to run. Out of bounds. And Marco Szombathely steps out of bounds, and Best couldn't get it to drop. And Sloklas checks into the game. Lewis will sit. Four turnovers for the Hungarian club. Inside again. Soropoulos going to work. Goes to with a left-hand jump hook, is no good. Defensive rebound. Chance to cut into the 7-point lead. Benke has it. We'll take the ball screen from Redic. Gay in the lane, steps through, and one. Well, Magalhães doesn't like the call, but gets his feet set. Little stutter, gets away with that. Doesn't need to get away with a move. Tough finish. Chance to complete the 3-point play and make it a 4-point game with 11 seconds left in quarter one. Benke completes the 3-point play. Good response by Falco Volcano. Looking like a 9-point margin was going to be a really nasty hole to get into, but they trail 4, 5 seconds of the quarter remaining. Best can't get it to drop. And at the end of the first quarter, PAOK got out quick, led it early, and Falco Szombathely have closed it to 4, so it's 20-16 at the end of one. Well, PAOK on the road, 40% from 2, 38 from 3, decent return. Szombathely, no rhythm, especially early in that first quarter, hence they trail by 4. Great thing for PAOK is they've built this 20-16 lead, and the man coming into this, the #1 scoring machine is what he's become in the A1 league. Adam Smith literally has a donut line of stats. Hasn't taken a shot, hasn't been a factor. In fact, it was the Canadian Aaron Best who came off the bench and just ignited PAOK with the back-to-back threes. Start of quarter two. Falco Volcano will have possession of the basketball. Hooker's really becoming a problem for PAOK defensively. Turned the corner again and generated more contact. Sideline possession, 14-second reset. Pinke has it. Has a look at his options. Nice pass. Tough one to the inside. Tough finish by Lake. Daquan Lake came in late in that first quarter. Makes an impact at the start of the second. Closes it to a 2-point game. Slokas will come off both screens. Now he looks at his options. Best trying to create an angle. Gonna be a whistle on the play as Verratti just gave a little too much contact in the post to Margaritas, and no one better on the floor than Margaritas in making sure that the referee sees the foul. Slokas is going to look inside, but the whistle already goes. Zisis Kopoulos is charged with the offensive foul. Well, there's the whistle on that. Referee has a much closer angle than I do. So Falco Volcano with the opportunity to tie or even lead this on this possession. Hooker. Well, the early long two is way short. Chance here for Best in transition. Outnumbered, should recycle the basketball. Slokas will take the early screen. Knowles looks to roll. Slokas will move it on, gets it back. Knowles again, same play, different angle. Slokas finds a little separation. Can't get the drop, whistle on the play. Well, if you wanted an example of how to try and exploit space, to try and create a little separation off the pick and roll, Slokas and every other Greek guard knows how to do that as well as anybody in world basketball. Just create a little space for himself. Moves the basketball on. Best outside will take the Knowles screen, who rolls, turnover. And Szombathely. Philadelphia, who gets it off to Verratti. Outside will take the ball screen. Looks to Philadelphia with 3 feet set and just fills it up. And that's more like it. The rhythm was quick. No hesitation. Just a catch and shoot. And Szombathely lead it by 1. It's a nice little 11-0 run here. Margaritas is blocked by Lake, who's been a big impact. And he goes up, is fouled in transition, and the home team pushing, building, trying to add to the 10-0 run. There's the block by Lake from the weak side, and they're gone. And Verratti picks up the foul, and will go to the free throw line. Timeout by PAOK. And after leading by 7, they now trail. And when we come back, Szombathely will be on the free throw line to increase the 1-point lead. Let's take a listen.
Now, listen. First of all, now we need more clear options on offense, okay? Let's keep the ball movement more. The first play, like you see, one side. Okay, Apollo, one side. Come here, run it with Zane, go quickly, and run with the players we go on 22. I don't want it with Aro. You are here. Can't see the position, Apollo. Okay, now one side, you. So we have Agelis behind. We are Adam Aro here to move the ball if we have there. Okay, and we move them, sideline. Let's get back to that. We play. We are not moving now. We don't move the ball. We play 1 against 1 all the time when they are ready. Attack them after we move them first. Okay, let's go.
Well, the message is clear. It's all about ball movement for PAOK. They do not want to come down the floor and try and play one-on-one, as coach says, when the defense is already set. Move the ball, create advantage, and then try and exploit it. They have the players to do it. That's what they were doing earlier in the game, and it's all become a little bit one-on-one. Free throw is good, and Barade increases it to a 2-point lead. It's important for Szombathely now to really get the stop next possession if they can. Let's see if PAOK will move the basketball. Nice to move to the inside. Knowles gets the drop. Well, they didn't have to go to the second side, but the spacing was so much better. Tied at 22, 7:40 to go in the first half. We've got a foul away from the basketball. Magalidis again ensures that the official sees the contact. Nice response by PAOK coming out of the timeout. Smith tries to create a little space, steps back for the 2, is no good. And he's having to go look for points at the moment. It's a lot tougher when you're looking for him yourself or looking to create advantage. Ball turned over, quick release, and Slugas. And Slugas with a 2 on the break, off transition, off defense, and PAOK will believe that they have restored normal service. Little run coming out of the timeout. Quick release on the 2 is good for Bank. Okay, with the 2. Almost that little push shot. Smith will move it on. Knowles will look high-low, nothing on. Will set the screen. Best down the middle. Left hand off the glass for 2 is good. Strong move, but again, Szombathely's help side is absent without leave. Verratti will find Benke for 2, is good. And Szombathely had that first regular season at home nerves, should we say, earlier in the game. Looks a lot better now. Best will move it on. Glass will dance with it to the baseline. Now gets to the middle. Oh, nice pass. Knowles goes up for 2. All about the guard play. All about the unselfish play of Apollon Slugas. That's with the nice assist. Knowles goes to 6. PAOK restore the 2-point lead. And step backs for the 3 is short. And Knowles really coming into his own in the last few minutes. Comes down with a big rebound. Will set the early screen. Slugas will come off that, go to the middle and kick. Smith to the baseline for 2, and that'll make him feel a lot better. Timeout for Falco Szombathely as Smith gets to the baseline for 2. And Szombathely take the timeout. Let's take a listen to this.
What the fuck is now? Best layup. This guy go, and then he's blue, and he go, and he's making slow, but what make a foul? Again layup. Now. Layup. But 3 times layup. But where the fuck you are? But we have to start to play differently. Better. And quicker. Offensively.
Well, it's always an intense play, so timeout. Apologies if you picked up the language.
But just change angle of the screen. Still same spacing, and you feel to attack.
So Szombathely, after the timeout, so important to get what you want. Most of the timeout was really about defense, but got to keep moving the ball. High pick and roll and kick. Nice move to the glass for two. And Washington opens his account, and the ball movement and the movement away from the ball so much better for Szombathely. Lewis back in the game. Will take the ball screen from Knowles. Better help side. Lewis steps back for a tough one and doesn't get the roll. And that's not exactly what Coach Pilvarakis asked for in the last PAOK timeout. Hooker gets his feet set, lines up the three, is short. Great work on the glass. Washington going to work after the two. Hooker again thinks about it, turns it down, puts it on the floor, spins, tries to create a little separation, takes the tuck, lean away. Nothing but air, and that'll be a 24 violation. And both teams guilty of settling for tough ones. Both teams didn't move the ball, and that's at this level. Defenses are set one-on-one, they contain you. You've got to try and create an advantage. And Smith advances the basketball. Just over 4 minutes of the half remaining. Smith will take this staggered screens, gets in the lane and kicks. So look as he's short. Szombathely, chance to run. Nice break. A miss dunk by Pilvarakis. Lucas the other way, gives it up. And a whistle on the play. And I think, well, I would agree, Lucas has a point. The referee's going to talk it over. Looked to me like not really a legitimate attempt to play the basketball. Referee's just going to call the foul, I think, unless they're going to look at it, which is, this is where they're going right now. Let's take a look. Lucas gives it up, and on a second look, this angle will be better. Quinton Hooker. Well, I'm not so sure as I was the first time at regular speed. He was coming from in front. He was trying to go across, but was it a genuine attempt? Was it a realistic attempt? Let's take a look. Well, the ball was there, and so as Lucas falling to the floor really shouldn't be part of the equation here. This will be an interesting call. I'm glad that sometimes I'm not a referee. Well, I'm never a referee, but the officials, then we're going to find out. Just a foul, and I think they're right, because when you saw the replays, Hooker came from in front, theoretically could have stolen it. So all PAOK get is the sideline possession, and if I was Coach Pilvarakis, I would be asking the same question. But Szombathely now in the penalty, so any more fouls will send PAOK to the free throw line. Smith will put it on the floor, looks to create a little space and kicks. Easy for three is long. Good job on the glass. Redick just used his body so well. Verratti moves it on. Goes upstairs. Redick can't finish the play. Smith going the other way. Gets to the foul line. Stops and floats. Doesn't get the two. And the ball will belong to PAOK. Get a little feisty in here. Apollon Slokas will sit down as PAOK go back to the starting lineup with 3 to go in the half. Smith out of bounds, gets his feet set for 3, is short. And Hooker again just never quits on a play. Had no right to get that defensive rebound. Neither numbers from the three-point line. If you think about PAOK's, 2 of those are back-to-back from best. They haven't made a 3 in an eternity. Rich going to work, gets into the lane, goes up with a right-hand hook, soft touch for 2. Monte Redic gets the 2. And we have a new ball game, 30 apiece, 2:30 to go in the first half. And Lewis takes the ball screen from Knowles. Turnover, 2-on-1 break, easy pass, easy 2, and Verratti gets the 2. And Szombathely making it a 32-30 scoreline, and PAOK take the timeout.
Hey, all clear situation. We go, everything is slow. We want to go to the pick and roll, we walk. Come high, check the speed high, go with speed there. And pass with balance. Let's go. We pass without balance there. Let's go. We pass without good spacing. Come on, let's go. Spacing first of all and play defense. The ball is on the post. We play soft here, and all the other guys, you are like, you guard the best shooters in the world. Where nobody drop here to play active. Why you guard everybody here outside? Nobody's jumping to the ball to play wide on the post. Nobody. Everything is easy here. Everything is easy for them. Let's go. You play, when the ball goes on the post, everybody drop inside. Everybody drop. Okay? And split back to protect the lane again. Under the basket. Hey, one side. One side. One foul to give. One foul to give.
I mean, don't call. Okay. I mean, don't call. First is 5. Let's go. Get down on. 5.
Well, you don't need an interpretation of Coach Varakis' timeout. The word playing soft was evident. Guess he almost turns it over, gets deflected. Easy in the block, trying to go to work. Well, he takes the tough one with the left hand, and he had wide open players just desperate for the basketball. Penetration and kick and turnover. And both teams so guilty of bad decisions right there. And as he penetrated the lane, he had shooters spotted up wide open, decided to go 1-on-3. And Perry just pushed it 1-on-3, and off balance with the turnover to give the 7th turnover for Szombathely. It's all a bit static. Foul line jump shot for Lewis is no good. Szombathely with a defensive rebound. Verratti gets another positive stats. Had a really nice first half. End-line possession. Szombathely trying to build on this 2-point lead. It's been a bit messy this second quarter, but we could be going into the half here with a lead. Nice some momentum. Perry moves it on. Washington to the lane, takes the turnaround, doesn't get the roll. Knowles is on the glass, and Smith has it. the high ball screen. Runs it soft. Knowles will move it on. Takes the hand off to Best. Easy for three. It's good. Well, that green light has been there for him from minute one. Goes to 8 points personal, 2 from 5 from beyond the arc. Hooker moves it on. Washington again goes to the middle. Left hand. Can't complete the two. Smith will go to the free throw line after the soft foul by Quinton Hooker. Well, 1 for 2. Great work by Knowles on the glass. Just would not be denied, and the ball gets back to PAOK, and good, hard work. Outwork your opponent, always rewarded. And PAOK with 18.7 and a 14-second reset. They should use most of that 18 seconds up. Best will find Smith. 10 on the possession. Knowles will change the angle of the screen and then goes away, leaves it clear, one-on-one. Takes the tough one, steps back, hits nothing. And there's a 24-second violation. The clock has to stop. There's at least a 4-second differential. I don't think the shot hit the ring, did it? And PAOK are making their way off the floor as quickly as possible. We see the halftime stats. Would like to see the last play of that half again. The referee saying it did scrape the front of the ring. So PAOK lead at 34, well, it should be 36 to 32 if they count the two that went. I think they're going to take the line of no damage done. There it is, they put it on. 36 to 32 at the half. Best and Nagezi lead the scorers for PAOK. So Adam Smith, the #1 scorer in A1 in Greece, 2 points in the first half. And you can hear what the home fans think about the end of that first half. What it means is that this is set up for a second half that's going to go all the way down to the wire. Szombathely trailed by 7 early. Dragged themselves back into the game, led by 2 or 3 at the most. And then PAOK closed out the half to lead it by 4, 36 to 32 at the half. We're going to leave you with some highlights of that first half, and we'll be back in around 10 minutes for what should be a really interesting second half. It's going to go all the way down to the wire. We said it would be high scoring. We said it would be technical, and it has been. So we'll see you in 10 minutes for the second half.
guys. What an athletic play.
Under the basket, Mustafa Fall in the lane, and he held the ball up like the Eiffel Tower, and it was just too easy for the big man.
Nice, beautiful move. Really sneaky, smart play. Oh, what a move by Thomas, throwing it down. Just catch through the lane and throws it down with authority. Inside for a big time slam dunk by Faye. Ibrahim Faye, I said earlier, just throw it up anywhere above the rim and he'll catch it. Wow, what a play.
Marty, oh, he throws it down hard. Great hustle play by Brindisi. Kelvin Marty just hammered it home.
No good there for the Sixers, and here comes Jaquan Lewis. Lewis, still Lewis. Oh, what a move! Off the glass!
Offensive rebound, and Goldikas has been good, but he turns it over. Ball kept alive. Martin goes down the floor and gets to the end of the runway and takes off and throws it down for two. And Kelvin Martin, there you go, gets off the 2 feet, gives it a little windmill action and throws it down.
Double dribble to be called. It isn't. Young gets a little slip, throws it up, and then the finish. Once more, it's Kamari Murphy. Sorry, it was Simpson sneaking along the baseline.
Laluna inside to Adelaide Lund. Back to Lund. Oh my lord! I mean, he stares it down. You remember the name. It is Abdullah Lund. Look at the elevation, and he stares it down on the floor. You remember Abdullah Lund.
Welcome back to Szombathely. PAOK have been on the floor for some time, and the home team just making their way back onto the floor. Hooker has literally accumulated stats across the stat line, leading rebounder in the game for the home team. Really has done a tremendous job. Szombathely really were at their best when they moved the ball quickly, they spaced the floor, and they created opportunity for each other. But then you could say exactly the same thing about PAOK. When they spaced the floor, shared the basketball, kept it moving, they were a tough ass. Sultan Per has 7 points, but got those early and really wasn't a factor as the half developed. Only taking the 1-3. Looks like he just needs to be a little bit more assertive if Szombathely are going to get the best out of Per. He's only 24, still beginning to build his pro career. Lokassin's shot there came on midway through that first half, and done what he's done his whole career. Really does control the tempo of the floor, exploits the pick and roll as well as anybody in the Basketball Champions League, and in some ways suits PAOK a little bit better in some ways than Lewis. Lewis individually has so many options, but in the use of the pick and roll, Falco Szombathely is a master at it, a 36-year-old point guard. Apologies to those of you trying to follow the statistics of this game. Currently it appears to be stuck. I'm sure that people are trying to resolve that one, but they're stuck at only 2 minutes into the game.
Aaron, you are the screener for this is go here, and then you also go the back pick. So it's like the end of possession. Okay? Down screen for this is, he goes pick and roll, back screen for this is, and we go there.
So Zisis Skarakopoulos is going to start the second half for PAOK. 2'12", 29-year-old veteran.
Of course, it's not traditional. First take offense. Let's go. Let's go.
The issue for Coach Flavorakis is Zane Knowles had periods of that first half where he was so active. So if, but I don't know if they're going to be able to play Knowles and Skarakopoulos together. So it's going to be an interesting dilemma for Coach. Down the other end, Szombathely. To me, it's tempo. You know, can they stay active at both ends of the floor? Away from the basketball defensively in particular. They've got to rotate and help and scramble if they get broken down. But that's exactly what they didn't do in that first half. So Coach Flavorakis looks like he's wheeling out the veterans at the start of this second half as Evangelos Margalides will start alongside Skarakopoulos in the PAOK lineup. Smith and Lewis in the backcourt. So PAOK with the 4-point advantage at the start of the third quarter. Lewis turns the corner. Well, they ran the play, but the defense just stood there. 2-on-1 break. Really great execution at speed. And Szombathely immediately turned defense into offense. Georgopoulos will. It's a handoff. They're trying to jam that. Gets it deep. Georgopoulos goes to the left. Gets up with the right hand, is blocked. And Redic wins that battle. And Szombathely at speed. Don't let the ball stick. Keep the ball moving. Look inside, and then they're going to back it out. Pearl will get the ball screen from Redic, who dives. Pearl with the pull-up three is short. And Lewis has a chance to calm things down for PAOK at the start of this second half. Margaritis will reverse the basketball. Best will go inside. Margaritis rips through, goes to the middle. Skaralopoulos tries to go to that left hand, has it knocked away again. They're going to have to put this up. Lewis just about gets it away, and but Skaralopoulos stays more active than anybody. And another example, Szombathely have just got to finish defensive plays. Smith puts it on the floor, gets to the middle, off the glass for two. No help side, slices the middle. And PAOK outworks Szombathely and get rewarded again. Smith with a two. The complete breakdown. And Pearl makes them pay for that with the three. Smith will back out. Margaritis will reverse. Best will take the ball screen. Goes inside. Margaritis ball fakes. Is fouled on the way up. And will have to earn them from the free throw line. Well, as you can see, no one in a black shirt is on the same half of the floor as Pearl. Complete breakdown by PAOK at the defensive end. Margaritis is long with the first of the throws. Makes the second. 8 to go in quarter three. Neither team is going to want to report those stats from the free throw line. 56 and 57% respectively. Hooker moves it on to Pearl. Just to turn the corner. Gets inside, he's fouled. He's just got to be more assertive. Zoltan Pearl has been a thorn in the side of the PAOK defense when he chooses to be. Puts it on the floor against Smith, who fouls him, and even then he's still looking to pass it off. Pearl goes long side, doesn't get a look. Pearl has it again. Goes upstairs for Redic to throw it down. Redic pushes the elevator button to the top floor and throws it down off the Pearl assist. Smith in traffic. Open the floor, they've got to reverse it, but it's got stuck again, and PAOK having to work hard for anything. And an air ball from Lewis. Down the other way, Pearl off the glass, gets the two, that's more like it by him. 12 points personal. And Szombathely have started this third quarter with real purpose. Here's the replay. The alley-oop for two, and Redic just nonchalantly throws it down. PAOK have to steady the ship here. Margaritis on the inside, outside. Smith beats it for three, is off. And Pearl's everywhere at the moment. Gets a defensive rebound and brings it. Looks to come off the early screen, gets inside, leans away, doesn't get the two. And again, you got to think, be the assertive player. Best tries to slow, gets the high pick. Almost picks and pops. They're going to gap that. Smith wraps the pass. Lewis just reels it in. Steps through, drops it down, turns it over. Redic, nice look away, but there's too much on the pass. The decision was so good. The pace on the pass, so wrong. thumbs up though from Benke. Pull up for 2 is good. Straight off the bench, steady the ship, bring your veteran back. Szlokas gets the 2 and ties the game at 41. Apollon Szlokas, what a career. One of those guys you can put the word pro next to. Rich in the post, tries to back in, ball's knocked away. They just about recover it, turnover, Best has it. Generated the turnover by the quick dig at the ball. Szlokas, quick release to the inside, foul on the play. And all of a sudden, Szlokas comes into the game. And pow, the tempo, the ball movement just increases. Adam Smith will inbound the basketball. No, he won't. Szlokas wants it on the baseline. Szlokas will inbound. Smith will go to the weak side. It looks like he's going to come off 2 screens. Yes, he does. Had the chance to catch and release. Tries to get a little separation. Drops it off. Szlokas wide open for 3. Is good. Instant impact off the bench. 44-41. PAOK back in front. Get another lead change. Hooker lines up the 3. Is long. Great work on the glass, though. Benke just would not be denied, just keeps it alive, gets it to Pearl, gets his feet set, lines up the 3, drops it. He's having a night, it's Zoltan Pearl. Goes to 15 personal, 3 from 4 from the 3-point line, and ties it again at 44. Szlokas gets to the foul line, dances in the lane, will skip it. Smith has it, 7 on the possession. Smith settles for the 3, count it. 10 points personal, he's having a quiet night, is Smith. Benke wants to clear the floor, drops it inside, ball's knocked away, recovered, Hooker has it. Attacks it, Pearl baseline, creates an angle. Tough finish with the left hand. Szlokas will drop it into Margalides. Tries to go to work in the post. Got a foul away from the ball. And Hooker's not going to enjoy the call, I don't think. Peels himself off the floor. And then just wrestles Skarikopoulos to the floor. That's a long way to wrestle anybody for it, 2 meters 12. Well, we were asking Pearl to get more assertive. Well, he's definitely done that. Szlokas will turn the corner off the high pick. Knowles in the game, goes deep, but has to bounce back out for the next screen. Szlokas will pop it. Smith looks for a little separation. He's gonna have to put this one up. Nice move. Doesn't get the drop. And Szombathely on the break again. And I think if we're being consistent, that'll just be a foul. Szlokas makes a legitimate reach across for the basketball. At least as legitimate as the one we saw earlier on from Quinton Hooker. Margalides will sit. And this is one of those toe-to-toe Basketball Champion League nights. 47-46. 3:43 to go in 3. Both teams looking for win number 1 after losing on the opening night last week. Pearl again on the 3-point line. We'll move it on. The Poverty gets it back. Pearl gets his feet set again and gives it up. Wide open for three, and it's dropped. And Benke gets the three. 13 points personal, his first three of the night. All about the Pearl decision. Easy checks in for PAOK. Smith kicks it. Agizi with the three is good. Well, this game looks so difficult for both teams in the first half. All of a sudden, it appears easy for both. Okay, little hesitation, creates the space. The three is short. Smith will hunt that down and push. Well, he backs it out, didn't like the numbers. Knowles once, not gonna get. Nice find, Smith wraps it. Slokas for three is short. And the ball drops into the hands of Verratti, who gives it up. Pearl needs a pass, just about finds one. Verratti. Game building. Verratti takes the screen, looks inside, reverses the basketball. Pearl for three is long. Redic 1 on 3 on the glass and comes up with it. Tremendous rebound. Pearl will take the ball screen, draws the contact. And that'll only be the second team foul on PAOK. Slokas picks up 2 quick ones for the Greek club. Verratti turns down the screen, gets the little floater to drop, and Szombathely generate yet another lead change. Verratti goes to 5 personal. Best will move it on. Smith will go baseline, tries to create an angle. What a finish. Manufactured an angle to finish under intense pressure. Well, when you're a scorer, you always find ways to score. Verratti needs a pass. Washington will move it on. Redic has it, will hand it off. Nice kick from the Poverty. Baseline, in traffic, somehow gets through the contact and makes the 2 with the Poverty. Slokas draws contact, will go to the free throw line. And it's just heads up. Just heads up basketball. Philip Poverty just gets carried away with the emotion of the moment. Picks up the personal. Slokas will go to the free throw line. And Antoine Wiggins will check in. PAOK have used the bench a little differently in this second half. Slokas doesn't get the first to drop. Benke has it, puts it on the floor. Doesn't really use the screen. He'll use this one, though, to come off Redic. He drops it inside, is fouled on the way to the ring. Really decisive catch and take. I'd say Redic just went, regardless of what was there, he was going through the contact. Earns the foul, gets to the free throw line. Drops the first of the free throws. He's only shooting, well, he's shooting under 60% so far in the Hungarian league, but His career, he's been a much better free throw shooter than that. Slokas will advance the basketball. Wiggins in the block, inside, outside. Best tries to create a little angle, gets the switch. Best just breaks the defense down, doesn't get the drop, will have to go to the free throw line. Got the advantage from the switch, exploited that with a penetration. Turns out to be a relatively good foul. 8 points personal for Aaron Best. 11.5 points a game in the first 4 games in Greece. Does give punch off the bench for PAOK. And Slokas on top of everything else, on top of running the pick and roll, on top of scoring. Now has got involved in the maintenance of the floor, as has Berardi. Not really sure what the deal is, but very conscientious work by the floor wiper. Lewis is waiting to check back in. Didn't see the combination of Slokas and Lewis much in the first half. We're not going to see it for a little while now, as Best misses the second of the throws and goes over. Last 20 seconds of the third. Berardi gets it off. Washington barrels his way to the lane, inside out, turns it over. Chance to run here. Wiggins, blocking foul, they're going to count it. That's when Wiggins gets it. Goes up. Berardi was never really set. Lewis now checks back in. We're tied at 55, 6.8 seconds to go in 3. Wiggins completes the three-point play, and PAOK generate yet another lead change. Robertson goes up, off the glass, doesn't get the roll. Defensive rebound is collected at the end of the third by Amanze Agezi. And PAOK started the quarter leading by 4, ended leading by 3, but there's been the game has been tied. There's so many lead changes. We're going to look at the numbers. Both teams improving from the three-point line. The free throw stats for PAOK could come back to haunt them on the road. 50% in a one-point game at the end of the third. And the game had a much better flow to it in this third quarter. Bate with their defense so much more active, and Pearl finally became very, very assertive as that quarter developed. So PAOK lost a little rhythm with the different lineup on the floor. They went with Margaritis and Skropoulos and Skarakopoulos at the start of that third quarter. That didn't work, but they re-established some balance, re-established some tempo. Slokas came back into the game and really did have an immediate impact. The worrying thing for Szombathely is that Smith, who's had a relatively quiet night, got himself going in the third, and that bodes well for the Thessalonica team. Here we go then. Start of the fourth quarter. This one going anyway. Too close to call. PAOK have the 1-point advantage at the start of the fourth. Szombathely have possession of the basketball. Berardi turns the corner, looks at his options, goes again with the left hand. Floats one, doesn't get the drop. That's hunted down, and Lewis has it. Best. Lewis will come back. Will get the ball screen from Knowles. That's an offensive foul. I was just about to say their execution was poor. Throughout the whole of that first set was such a sloppy way to start for PAOK. No one set a screen, no one came off it properly. And the crowd are up. The crowd are gonna stand until Szombathely get their first points of this fourth quarter. The whole gym and 5 players looking to open their account in the fourth. Savali Arena just rocks to the sound of Szombathely fans. Huge possession just for momentum here. Gay has it. Gets it into the half court. And PAOK shakes a little, needs a pass, finds one. Gets it back, will take the ball screen, looks to turn the corner. The little Euro step to the middle for 2. And Zoltan Pearl gets the 2 because Szombathely back the lead. 19 points personal. Lewis will move it on. Knowles will hand off. Best tries to get a little space. Fires up the 3. Way long. And Szombathely have a chance to build on the great start to the fourth. Benke turns the corner. Looks to go. Anita Lake with a little right hand hook. Doesn't get the roll. Knowles with the rebound. Foul on the play. Glade will be. They're going to call it a jump. And that means possession will go with Szombathely. Sorry, we'll go with PAOK. Szombathely had it at the start of the fourth. Good noise from the crowd here. It's not a sellout, but they're making up for it with noise. Turning the volume up here. Smith checks back in for PAOK. Lewis going baseline, needs a pass, finds a pass, basically puts it on the floor, big step to the middle, great help by Berardi, just took away the drive lane. 4 on the clock, Lewis has to put it up, it's long, offensive rebound, as he pulls it in. They line up the 3 for Wiggins, that's no good, whistle on the play. And Knowles is going to be charged with the personal. Full court, almost a run and jump with Lewis. Berardi will move it on. Pearl has it, looks to turn the corner, gets it inside. Lake will wrap it. Have to fire up the 3, and it's filled up from deep by Berardi. 8 points personal. First from beyond the arc. Smith has it. Knowles outside will move it on. Lewis. Knowles gets it deep, goes outside with a right. It's going to be a whistle on the play. Foul on the floor. Quan Lake charged with the personal. Well, Berardi thought about it. Didn't need a second invitation. Knocks down the 3. Smith has it. Puts it on the floor. Turns the corner. He's got the There's a whistle on the play. They're going to have to call Hooker for the foul because he just prevented Knowles diving to the hoop. See, there's, again, Knowles has got every right to try and go. They're going to have to call the foul on Hooker here. He just holds and then tries to, well, almost went down trying to get the offensive foul. Referee's going to have to take a look at that one. I do think the option to replay plays, I think it's so important just to make sure they get the right play, the right call. We're talking about a 4-point game here. There's Knowles trying to go. Gets his arm over the top, that's fine. But then did he throw the elbow or did Hooker try and hold him? Because did he elbow? Referee called it the other way. If they saw the elbow and interpret it in the wrong way, this will be an interesting call. And sportsmanlike foul with the elbow is called on Knowles, and on the replay you can see why. So we're going to walk the floor. Hooker will shoot the throws. This is the first. But makes the second. Big possession now. And Coach Okron knows how important this possession is. He could turn that from a possession the other way to an 8-point lead if they make the three. Timeout called by PAOK, and I assume Coach is going to want to talk about controlling things right now. Let's take a listen. I'm sure we'll be in the PAOK huddle. Here we are.
Okay, the three guards, we go only Evangelis and Sis is 4-5, and we are right away on 2. Okay, Sis in the middle of the lane. The ball is already out here, okay? So I want Jay and Adam here. Sis is always in the line, ball and basket. And I want back here, Evangelis and at 1. Okay, so we are 2-3. Tight each other, close to each other. The guy on the ball very active. And the others protect high post. We are get the ball drop, we are like cell. Corner like man to man, the others here. Protect high post, protect low post and weak side. Very tight. When they close out, the guy on the ball again, very active. No open threes. No open threes. Offense,
well, he's going to go to the zone, which is more of a matchup, just leaving Sarakopoulos in the lane. What they can't afford to do is give Szombathely standstill threes. Really got to work hard on the ball. And Szombathely now has big possession. Per has 19, 7, and 5. That is a stat line. He'll inbound the ball. Pressure on the ball, everyone else protects the middle. Hooker has it. They're not going to chase too much. Now they've got to go to the ball though. Pearl has it. Szombathely trying to work it. Pearl puts it on the floor. It's got to go up. And they get a 14-second violation after a timeout with a chance to really put some pressure on PAOK. Huge let off for PAOK. Defensive change really did have an impact. Lewis gets it into the half court. Smith trying to build on that stop. Lewis will take the ball screens. Megalidis goes to the little flow down. Great work by Lake, but then they stopped again. And Skarilopoulos just carried on and outworked everybody. Back to the 2-3. It's the only way to describe it, but it's not quite your traditional 2-3. Wide open look from the perimeter is long. They dodged the bullet on that one. The closeouts were slow, to say the least. Hooker has it. We'll move it on. Pearl penetrates. Baseline. Needs a pass. Finds one. Great rotation. Now they find Hooker outside. Stops and takes the 2. Is good. Well, 5 points personal for Hooker. They scrambled for 2 on that possession. Lewis moves it on. Smith time now. He's got to find a way to get himself going. Megalidis for 3 is long. Box out. Out of the top draw. Lake really being a factor in this fourth quarter. It's forcing Szombathely just that extra 2-3 steps outside the three-point line. Hooker, though, beat set for 3 is no good. Lake's on the glass again, and he's just been a huge factor in the fourth. Just climbing all over the offensive boards. Does a great job. Different situations, different lineups, different combinations. Coach Okwong getting it right at the moment. PAOK already in the penalty. That was the 4th end line possession for Szombathely. Carlos picks up his 4th. Hooker goes to the high post. Washington is going to travel on that. Picks up the pivot foot. And again, the zone just takes you out of your rhythm. Should really have that big an effect. Redic checks back in. Redic's expression just hasn't changed from minute 1 to minute 35. Needs a big 5 minutes now. Lewis wraps the pass. Megalidis moves it on. Wiggins. Lewis. And Smith just hasn't touched it this possession. Wiggins goes with a right left hand and somehow manufactures the finish. Szombathely against this zone has to be assertive, has to be aggressive. 21 points for PAOK off turnovers. Just great execution off their defense. Out of bounds. It's all about the change in defense, change in the rhythm of the game, change in the look. Szombathely are now thinking about it. You wouldn't be surprised if they had to take the timeout soon, if this zone continues to worry them as much as it is. Just about get away with a 5-second count. Smith has it, attacks it off the dribble. Hooker plays great defense, but Smith gets to the lane, doesn't get the job. Skarilopoulos on the glass, but Redic outworks him and claims a defensive rebound. And now we're in heavyweight championship time, head toe-to-toe. Hooker will take the ball screen, has it knocked away, quick release, more points off transition. And Lewis gets the 2, and we've got a 1-point game. Timeout, Szombathely. And points off turnovers, huge factor for PAOK. Timeout, Szombathely. They have to remain the aggressor. They have to remain positive. They still lead it by 1.
Hey, Q, listen to me. Can you listen to me? Hey, they play. Listen to me. Can you play normal? Can you play normal? Doesn't matter how they stay, okay? It's so many space. It's so many space for penetration and finish, okay? That you don't need to be scared about this, okay? Just play. Or 5 game, or play 0 or 2 if you think that they are in zone, okay? But they more precise, a little more precise with a better spacing. And then if it's pick and roll one more time, yeah, okay, he go behind and he try to steal the ball because he's in the dead situation. Hey guys, hey, can you listen to me something? Hey, 4 minutes, 4 minutes. Very important. forward, see.
Timing, let's go, don't rush.
Well, the most important thing, the Okron, Coach Okron there, just play. You've just got to play. The 2-3 zone, it's not, there's a trap. It's not as if they're forcing it into a particular area. They're just showing you a different look. You can play your normal game. If you need something, play this, but just play. Now, PAOK will extend their defense after the timeout. Hooker has it. It's a 1-point game. The home team still have the lead. 4 minutes remaining in this one. First win in the Basketball Champions League at stake for both rosters. Well, they show it again. Oh, they've turned it over again. Lewis, 3-on-2. All he has to do is find the open man, and he hesitated. And that doesn't look good. Wiggins will peel himself off the floor. They had the 3-on-2 break. Hesitated. Hooker has done again what he's done throughout the whole of this game. Hunted the passing lane. Outworked his opponent. Sideline possession. Smith will inbound. Skabropoulos comes high. They leave Best in the post. Offensive foul, and that'll be the 5th. Skabropoulos will take no further part. And there's the movement that Hooker does a great job at making sure he sees. Szombathely, chance to increase the lead still. This 2-3 zone gives them all sorts of things to think about. Szombathely with the baseline jump shot is good. Szombathely again gets the 2. Lewis on the penetration, needs a pass. Drops it inside to Knowles, who backs it out. Lewis again attacks it this time. Takes a tough one, is fouled, and will go to the free throw line. Szombathely picks up foul number 3. Lewis is on the free throw line. Can't get the first to drop. Goes 0 for 2, and free throws are becoming a huge issue for PAOK in this game. They trail 3, and they're under 50% from the free throw line. 44%, 7 from 16 in a game, you trail 3 on the road. Pearl has it, puts it on the floor, slices through. Reddish with the layup, misses that. Pearl's on the glass. He's been everywhere, absolutely everywhere. 21 personal. Zoltan Pearl getting it done here. Turnover, chance to run, 4-on-2 break. Just make the right decision for the layup for 2 is good. Benke gets the 2. PAOK take the timeout. And Szombathely put themselves in touching distance of the home win. Timeout, PAOK.
Hey. Yes. Apollo, Adam, okay. Hey, first play is fist 4. Okay, fist 4. Zane, you go scream for Vangelis. Vangelis pop out here.
That's a number on top of the free throw situation. 37-29 on the glass.
After screen, you follow the ball. You stay on the baseline. Okay? Hey, Apollo. Yes. Πώς θα φύγει. Σίγουρη πας στο Βαγγέλη. Αν έχεις όρθρο, όχι είναι μόνο σου δίνει. Αν όχι κάνουν αλλαγή, βάλα μέσα. Guys, we continue. 42, one more possession. But hey, use the 40. Press the ball, attack, let's try to go here. You steal the ball a couple of times. Be aggressive here. Enough time, it's enough time. Okay, let's go, let's go.
Well, Keith, as we see the replay, Bridge missed the layup. Pearl again now adds an offensive rebound and two to a phenomenal stat line. Great finish on the Braver Benke. The important thing now for PAOK is they must come down and get a good one. Slowcast is back in the game, which is a great decision to get him on the floor. So he has it. Slowcast, plenty of time left in the game here for PAOK. They trail 7. Slowcast off the screen. Margalitis will combine with Smith. Taking a long time here. Smith turns it over. Hooker going up in the lane. Gets the drop and one. Quinton Hooker with a 2. Only his 7th point of the night, but that just doesn't tell you the story of his performance. Takes responsibility, goes up in the lane, kisses the glass for 2. Completes the 3-point play. And we have a 10-point game. Biggest lead of the night for Szombathely. Still 2 minutes to go though. PAOK have almost another turnover. The Tuesday night game is always a question mark. Again, if you've played Sunday and you come and play on Tuesday, it's always hard. But it's the same for everybody. Slowcast has it. They've got to go quicker. Slowcast puts it on the floor. Smith wants and gets. Tries to turn the corner. Steps back for 3. Is no good. Great work on the glass though. Best has it. Needs a pass. Finds one. Slowcast has it. Turns down the ball screen. Steps back for 3. Is short. Best with another offensive rebound. Works hard. Gets fouled. But that will only be the 4th team foul for Szombathely. Third foul for Devontae Ledic. Have to score quickly. They caught it in the act of, so Best has a chance to go to the line. Must make both. And the free throw woes for PAOK continue. Nine-point game, 1:28 remain. Timeout, Szombathely. In fact, PAOK take the timeout.
Okay, Amasa, you go for the top. Vangelis only protect inside. Okay, only Vangelis. If there is a guard again, speed here, you go. Everybody get up. We go for one trap and go. Around and up. Whatever happens there, we continue man to man. We continue man to man. More, a lot of switches. Okay, if the guard has to stay in,
52 to 39.
Okay.
Total from the field. PAOK have taken, in fact, 6 more shots on the game. Largely because of the turnovers that Szombathely have committed.
If they switch again for the inside, 41 all the time and the single finger roll. Switch, block, whatever. Okay? Let's go every point. Play for every point. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Well, coach is absolutely right, Philip Vagarakis. Absolutely right. You've got to play every point here. If they lose, there's still time to come back, but if they lose, they have to lose small as they can. people regularly watching Basketball Champions League basketball look at the closeness of groups when it comes to the end of the regular season. Points difference, head-to-heads, such an important part of this competition and the regular season format. Hooker will inbound, almost turned over by Smith. Got a piece of it as they try to go straight back to Hooker. Slocas will try and double the person coming to the ball. They get it to Hooker. Must get a stop here. They don't need to foul on this possession. Hooker penetrates. Oh, and it just opened up for him. Everybody was responsible for nobody. 11-point margin. Slocas lobs it. Naglidis will turn it over. And the fourth quarter, the wheels have come off for PAOK. Szombathely will take the timeout. 11-point lead. And you know that Coach Okron is going to be hammering home the need to win by as many as they can. They could get away with 2 possessions here. And that's really all they should be looking to take. Let's take a listen.
Middle, screen, open, pass back. You want the ready here. And after this happens, the guy with the ball, Hooker, you go, you make him a screen here, okay? Go, bang there, park here, okay? All other follow, pedal, here. Filipovic, run behind here. Hey, we attack. Hey, no, we attack. We start to attack. We immediately attack.
Let's go, fellas,
Hey,
let's go.
hey. Every basket out. Let's go.
Get the arrow.
If there is no screen play, give it to the guard.
41.
Okay?
41.
Hey, give it the block, face. The
But it's always a possession at a time. Szombathely need to take care. They'll go on the baseline to get a full 24 of a possession. Trying to eat as much of the last minute and 7 to go. Hooker will inbound. Well, they go long. Szombathely turns it over. Recovered by Hooker. Phenomenal effort. Well, they'll take the early one, then knocked it out of bounds. And perhaps they shouldn't have taken the early one. Smith's got to go early. Well, they talked about the one pick and roll. Smith has it, attacks it, goes off the glass. He's blocked. Buildup puts an exclamation mark under this one. End-line possession for PAOK. They trail 11 with 53 seconds. All but a couple of tenths on the clock. Smith will inbound. Best gets it away from the three-point line. Is short. Defensive rebound. They look long. Pearl has it. Goes up off the glass for 2. Best the other way, has it knocked away. The ball's out of bounds and will go back to PAOK. A game that never had more than 2 or 3 points in it from late in the first quarter has now just been blown open in the fourth. Smith steps back for 3, drops it. Every point important. Szombathely look long. They need to run as much of this out as possible. Ball's out of bounds and will belong to Szombathely. Pearl has it. Ball's knocked away, he recovers and drops it off. Extra pass to the corner, recovered. Ball goes out of bounds, and with 6 seconds on the possession, 12 on the game. and Gasper Ocron should enjoy this one. They've really toughed it out at times and found a way to win. Pearl goes up off the glass, doesn't get the drop. Offensive rebound is no good. Magalides pulls it in. It's a bit messy at the end. It's been messy for PAOK in the fourth quarter. But Szombathely have toughed it out at times. Moments in this game, it could have gone the wrong way. A tremendous fourth quarter by the Hungarian club, and they lead it and win it 76-66 over PAOK to get their first win of the regular season. PAOK go to 0-2 in Group D. Well, that is a great performance by the home club. Falco Szombathely. The only two numbers that really matter are 76 and 66. They get the 10-point win. 44% from the free throw line by PAOK. The most decisive number in those stats. Pearl had 23 points personal. Got great support from Benke and Hooker. Easy had a great first half, but then just was quiet, and they lost their way in the fourth quarter. Szombathely will start the warm down as we get to look some highlights. But after a nervous start, where they really did look like they knew it was their first regular season game at home. They toughed it out. They steadied the ship. They trailed by 7 early. Pearl just grew in confidence as the game progressed. And then PAOK, inexplicably, a team that shoots nearly 72% across the first games of the Greek A1. That's 4 games. Go 44% from the free throw line in a close game. You know, stats have all sorts of meanings, but that stat, more than any other stat, underlines the problems that PAOK had. It's early in the regular season in the Basketball Champions League, but that's a big, big win for Szombathely in terms of building confidence, building momentum as they attempt to make the playoffs and finish in the top 4 in the regular season. PAOK have been here before. Their experience in European competitions, they'll really have to call on that. Need to go back home next week and get the win in the win column. Hooker was tremendous. Great effort by Hooker, both ends of the floor. In terms of emotional leadership, it sits with Hooker on this team. Big call, the unsportsmanlike foul with Knowles, who threw the elbow in a situation that PAOK would have had possession of the basketball. And from that moment on, PAOK never really recovered their momentum. Benke and Pearl just lifted Szombathely over the line to get the win. Hooker with the too late, summed it up. Big win on the road in Hungary. But for now, it's goodbye from Szombathely. Big win for the home team.
Alexander. 14-essel süvegjártó Áber. 15-össel Körmendi Bence.
Number 9, Apollon Tsoklas. Number 10, Yannis Hatzinikolas.
Szép plusz ezzel imádott hívhatja. Így volt szerzett mérkőzésen.